Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Movie Club.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. I am your host, Jaz Zap. And a fun fact about me, thank you, is that I applied to work when I first moved to New York. I was 22, and I was applying at all these different bars. And I applied to work at this bar called Hogs and Heifers, which is like basically Coyote Ugly. Coyote Ugly is a real bar, obviously. Yeah. And there's a chain of them. But Hogs and Heifers is also like a staple bar that does the same thing. And in fact, the set of this movie, when they're in the bar, it's a soundstage, but they modeled it to look just like Hogs and Heifers. So I show up to just apply to work at this bar, not knowing anything. There's bras hanging all up on the walls, and I'm filling out the application, and I'm like, the questions are like, what were you last year for Halloween? Like, who are you? Wonder Woman, Catwoman, or Poison Ivy? Like, and then she's like, great. Okay, so get up on the bar. It's like noon.
Yeah.
And this woman, and of course, I was at the age where I didn't know that I could say no to people. So it's like I'm in my business casual up on the bar dancing for like 4 people.
You showed up wearing your Kohl's blouse, and they were like, get up on the bar.
Now.
And
I was like, okay. And so I danced for all 4 people at noon.
What song?
I was trying to think about this last night while I was watching. I cannot remember for the life of me.
I am a redneck woman. I ain't no high-class broad.
I wish.
That would have slayed.
Then I would have taken all my clothes off.
Hell yeah.
I did not get called back.
Hogs and Heifers, that's the name? I'm getting that right?
That's the name, Hogs and Heifers. And I looked it up. It closed in 2015, but it was like down in the meatpacking district, basically like where they pretended Coyote Ugly was in this movie. Because the Coyote Ugly bar is actually in the East Village.
Okay.
But the way they're doing it makes it look like it's in meatpacking.
It's in meatpacking, yeah.
So, you know, these LA movies pretending to be New York.
I'm your other host, Jackson McClaskey. You hear my voice? Isn't that crazy? I'm trying to project a little bit more.
Through your nose only?
Yeah, right. I'm Jackson McClaskey, and a fun fact about me is I've actually written a few songs.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows that about me. Nobody knows that about you.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
How many times do I have to tell you, boy, that your fun facts need to be based in truth?
Says who?
So that the people get to know you better.
Oh my God, what's there to get to know?
We want to know you, like really know you.
I have written a few songs.
I know you have. That's why I'm like, don't make a joke about it. Say what you mean.
I did. I've written a few songs. Have they gone anywhere? No. Did the girl in this movie write songs that went anywhere? No. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Ugh.
Speaking of.
Also, yeah, you mentioned Coyote Ugly because we're talking about
Coyote Ugly. I wouldn't just tell this embarrassing job application story if we weren't talking about Coyote Ugly.
You're like, I interviewed at a place just like Coyote Ugly, and today we're doing The Mentalist.
I almost was one of those girls up on top of a bar spraying people with water. By the way, we're talking about Mr. Popper's Penguins. We're talking about Coyote Ugly today. A really interesting and fun revisit.
Yeah.
We were like, we're done talking about movies that are accidentally sexual and homosexual. Now we're just going to go for a movie that hits you over the head repeatedly with its heterosexuality.
And also, in that way, makes it kind of, to me, unsexy.
Less sexy.
Yeah.
That's why, to me, like, I think to everyone, like Bridgerton gets you so hot because it's like just a little tease.
Yeah, this is smacking you over the head with a hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is dumping the sexy water all over you on top of the bar.
This is Tyra Banks screaming it in your face, Tiffany, because we were rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you. Why is Tyra on the cover of this movie DVD?
That she's in for all of 5 minutes.
Has 8 lines.
She probably negotiated that into her contract.
Or they're like, we need someone with big name and big forehead. Get Tyra on the front.
A 5-star actress with a 5 head.
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks.
This is the first watch for me. I also feel like for some people listening, they probably have never seen this. I know you've seen the cover.
We are all so familiar with this film. Whether or not we've all watched it all the way through is a whole nother story.
Also, if you haven't seen it, like, stick around to listen because it is just fun. Like, it's not.
Yes, it's a romp.
Yeah.
Straight up romp. Or if you must, pause this episode, go watch it, come back, make fun of it with us.
It's on Hulu. It's included.
It's on Hulu. So hopefully you're not paying for ads. Shall we set the scene?
Let's set it.
Graced with a velvet voice, 21-year-old Violet Sanford heads to New York to pursue her dream of becoming a songwriter, only to find her aspirations sidelined by the accolades and notoriety she receives at her day job as a barmaid at Coyote Ugly. The Coyotes, as they are affectionately called, tantalize customers and the media alike with their outrageous antics, making Coyote Ugly the watering hole for guys on the prowl.
Or,
Not me making my dog have a fit in the other room, probably.
Let's keep it down.
Piper Parabo. Peepoo-poo.
You go for that.
Peepo-po. Pied Piper, Piper, Pipo. Piper can actually sing in real life. Like, she's a decent singer, and they still dubbed her voice in this film, and it really hurt her feelings. Fun fact.
They dubbed her voice?
Yes. Her singing voice was completely dubbed.
Okay, the singing voice at the end or the singing voice when she's just mumbling around on the keyboard? Because that singing voice is bad. It is bad.
They had Hilary Duff. La, 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 la.
I was going to say, every time she sings, I think of that. And everyone's like, wow, she's really good.
Wow, yeah. It's always that one young girl who comes to the city hoping to make it. But I was a little bit like, thank God. Like, I probably would have had to turn this movie off if she was coming to the city to be a pop star.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to sing my own songs. Anyway, we'll get to it. But yeah, her voice, not her own. And in fact, it's not her own throughout the movie. And then at the end, when she is singing a duet.
A song, yeah. Yeah, don't.
The person who she's singing the duet with is also dubbing her. So the person she's having a duet with herself, the person she's singing with.
Fun movie fact. Do you know where else that happens in cinema history?
Tell me.
In White Christmas, Rosemary Clooney, when she sings Sisters, that's her voice singing against her own voice.
I love that fact.
Because what is it Vera Bradley? I don't know the other woman's name. The dancer.
But yeah, she's a dancer.
She can't sing. And so Rosemary Clooney is singing both parts.
It's a regular singing in the rain type of swippity swap. We love movie magic. Speaking of the cast and crew.
Yeah. Piper, I would say Parabo.
Piper Parabo.
Piper Pueblo Bison. Till as old as time.
Piper Pueblo, who plays Violet. This was her breakout role.
Okay.
As an actress. The way she got her start pissed me off so bad.
Why? What'd she do?
I mean, she started acting from a young age. She went to school for theater. She tagged along with her boyfriend at the time to a casting call. And the casting director came out into the waiting room and saw her and asked her to read for one of the roles. And she didn't get it. But that casting director was like, she clearly has star power, and then just set her up with an agent.
Incredible.
That shit just does not happen anymore. Like, that's like a days of old kind of vibe that, like, I love. You love to hear that magic, but also let it be me.
Well, nowadays, TikTok is your casting director office, right? They're like, I saw you doing dabs on TikTok, and I said, this guy has star quality.
I saw you seeing how many saltine crackers you could fit in your mouth, and I thought, call up Paradigm.
Okay, we have a star on our hands.
Star on the rise.
With a big mouth.
That's all we need.
And that's all we need to know, really.
You're doing porn, is what we're...
Welcome.
We're getting you an agent for porn. This was her breakout role, though. And after that, we saw her in Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2, The Prestige. She had a role on Yellowstone. Some fun facts about Pop. Her birthday's on Halloween.
Love that.
Love that. That instantly makes me like somebody more.
Yeah.
And also, she was arrested for protesting Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court confirmation hearing, which we also love.
That's great.
Fun fact about me and Piper, we share an ex-boyfriend.
Really?
One of my ex-boyfriends dated her before he dated me. And that made me not want to watch her movies for a while.
Oh, you knew that when you were dating him?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't just find that out today doing research? Okay.
No.
I don't know.
No. It's on her Wikipedia. She dated this random ass guy that I dated. No.
And he was like, hey, have you ever seen Coyote Ugly? And you're like, yeah, why?
That
you want
super hot girl with the perfect body.
You're like, do you want me to dance like that in the bedroom or something? And he's like, no. I just dated the lead of that.
She got it covered. That she fulfilled that fantasy for me. You're good.
And you're like, oh, okay.
And we both dumped him because he was crazy. Anyway, her boyfriend, Kevin O'Donnell, played by Adam Garcia. He's an Australian actor who has mostly done a ton of musical theater. He's like an incredible dancer, singer, I guess. Sure. Why are you making that face?
I'm just making a face.
But in London.
Oh. A Weestinda.
Yeah, Weestinda. His breakout role in, he did the main role in Saturday Night Fever on the West End. He was in Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen with Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
Also, he helped originate the role of Fiyero in Wicked on Broadway around the same time Coyote Ugly came out. He also played Fiyero on the West End alongside the original star Idina Menzel.
Wow.
Yeah. He's an MT boy. This movie just has too many fucking people for me to go in on all of them, but we've got Melanie Linsky. We've got Tyra Banks, ANTM. We've got John Goodman.
Mm-hmm.
Monsters, Inc.
John Goodman. A pretty prolific actor, I think, at this point.
Very prolific actor.
What is he doing in this movie?
In fact, when they were showing it to test audiences, fun fact, the audiences demanded, they wanted more of him in the movie, and so they wrote extra scenes for him.
Hell yeah, they're like, more Goodman.
More good men. Bridget Moynihan, who we also know as Natasha Biggs' first wife in Sex and the City.
That's the same person?
I know. I did not put that together when I was watching.
I didn't either. She's really hot, and they're all hot.
Yes.
But she also gave me this, I was like, oh, she's probably really tall. And online when I was looking, she's 5'9".
She is, though, however, taller than the set designers thought, and they had to rebuild the bar so that she wouldn't hurt herself.
She was smacking her head on that
She
first
was
bar.
smacking her head on the bar.
Doing that line step dancing and just forgetting every line. Concussion.
Ah, no!
Ow! Like, Bridget, are you okay? One of her eyelashes just flies off.
Yeah. So it's just chock full of hot people, and John Goodman, who we love.
And who is also hot.
Who is also hot.
Crush me. I regretted that the second I said that. I'm sorry.
Cut to me zooming in and replaying the face you just made as that came out of your mouth.
My mom listens to this.
This is a reminder for those of you who are not watching on YouTube that you should watch on YouTube. Every once in a while, have a little movie night in your living room. Put this stream it on the TV, put it on your projector, because you're going to see all of the regret on our faces after everything we say.
You know who watches this at home? Confirmed? From international? My New Zealand boyfriend. Yeah.
Hello. That's Australian. I'm so sorry. New
You're gonna
Zealand.
hate that. But hi, Kohatu.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's so cute.
Gonna come when he hears this.
Oh my God, please. I wish.
Anyway, speaking of.
Is there a review of this? I'm sure there's a couple.
Oh, is there?
Are they bad?
They're mixed.
Okay.
This film was a smash at the box office.
Was it really?
Yeah. Did super well.
Okay.
Jonathan Foreman of the New York Post writes, the kind of excrescence that makes you wonder if the Taliban, the French, and all of the other foreigners who whine about the awfulness of Hollywood product might actually have a point.
Taliban mention in the Coyote Ugly review.
Mention. There's some hate. No.
Do you have hiccups?
I had hiccups this morning and I just got rid of them.
Do you want me to scare you?
And they're back. Yeah.
Do you want me to scare you? Donald Trump's the president.
Ah!
Are they gone?
We talk about it every episode. Taliban. Taliban in the movie reviews.
You dated the same guy as Piper Perabo.
Oh! Oh, God. That guy
gone?
was crazy. I have nightmares about him regularly.
Really?
Yeah. Because he, stalked me a little bit, read my diary, was, looking through my browser history, and was, on and off his meds.
The meds part, yeah. The other stuff, I'm like, I've done that. I'm going to read your diary. I want to know what you're saying about me.
Oof.
Oof.
You know what? I've done it, too.
Yeah, come on. A little Snoop-a-loop.
Sorry.
A little Harry at the Spy action. What are you really thinking?
Just be prepared to find stuff you don't want to find, and then you have to handle it. That's on you.
Yeah.
Curious kittens. Cariescatens. Felt like Moira Rose. Anyway.
Is it gone?
I think it's gone.
Yeah.
We talked about all that scary stuff, and it really worked. Speaking of the undead, Roger Ebert gave this movie 2 out of 4 stars. Didn't love it.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. He writes Bruckheimer, which Jerry Bruckheimer produced this movie, and his director bring superb technical credits to this wheezy old story, and they add wall-to-wall music to make it sound like fun. But you can pump up the volume only so far before it becomes noise. I don't ask for startling originality in a movie like Coyote Ugly. I don't object to the scene in which the heroine and her guy neck in a convertible and regard the lights on a Manhattan bridge. I don't even mind the obligatory line, "It's payback time." All I ask is that I be surprised a couple of times.
Yeah, he said, this isn't surprising me.
No, this is probably one of the more formulaic. Like, there are so many lines in this movie that I was like, ugh, do better.
It's a little... formulaic is a good word. Maybe that's what made it a hit. People are like, you know what? I know what's coming. I know what's about to happen.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I want something comfortable.
I don't need... This was 2000. I don't need surprises.
I don't need to be pushed
a year
outside
from now,
of my comfort zone.
We're about to have a big surprise.
Oh, fuck.
Think about it.
As a millennial, I went, oh, which surprise now are you talking about?
Oh,
We've had too many.
We've been through them all.
The big boy. Dove into Letterboxd.
What'd they say?
You know what? I've given up on the people of Amazon because there's too many people trying to be serious over there.
No, welcome to Letterboxd, because there are some people on Letterboxd that are serious and they know what they're talking about.
But I don't have to deep dive for the good.
Everybody's got a cheeky little something over there.
We love
My
it.
cheeky little monkeys at Letterboxd.
It's so good. We're Letterboxd stands only now. Aaron writes, you, hot girl summer, me, an intellectual, hot coyote summer.
Oh.
And I was like, I could see that for this year.
Oh, yeah.
I have my Coyote Ugly hair right now. Rolled out of bed and onto a bar, and then rolled off a bar, hurt myself, rolled back into bed, wake up. That's me.
That's you.
Right now.
Others would say a mess.
Hot mess girl summer. More realistically. Just trying to pay my bills summer. Madison writes in all caps, stop having love interests who are boring and slut shamey. I'm tired. And you know what? I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard it loud. This whole movie is pretty slut shamey for one that's supposed to be like, we're empowered, fun girls. But then every dude in the movie is like,
but you're my daughter.
Yeah. I was very excited for this to be a movie about women owning their sexuality and not being like, it's just a naughty stepping stone.
Yeah.
And I'm embarrassing everyone around me, all the men in my life. Get over it. Just enjoy your fucking sugar mommy.
Shake your ass and your titties.
That was the straightest you've ever sounded.
Well, you know what that is?
What?
Johnny Knoxville, who
is
appears in
this movie.
It was one of the first things I ever watched on Netflix. It's called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. And I said that so crisp and clear right there. Basically, it's a documentary about this family of Appalachian people who passed down all this, like, their great-grandfather was a clogger. All that to say, now they're all kind of crazy and a little cuckoo and looky. At one point in the documentary, 3 of the sisters are at this local bar, and the guy goes, we've got the White sisters here, shaking their ass and their titties.
No.
And I have said that has become canon in my brain
for the rest of your life.
If I'm going out with my girls, I'm shaking my ass and my titties.
My ass and my titties. That's West Virginia for you.
Amazing. That's Appalachia.
That is the heart of Appalachia. I was once in West Virginia, on a family vacation with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to a huge outdoor karaoke bar called Mangoes.
Hell yeah.
And I became a local celebrity.
I bet you did. You were like Piper.
I was like Piper. I was like, wait, stop.
I can solve world war.
I can't do this.
By singing.
Can you turn off the lights?
I keep seeing a lot of West Virginia people. Can you turn off the lights?
Can you turn off the whites? Anyway, do you have anything from the letterbox?
I did. I pulled one letterbox review.
Tell me.
User Megan writes, and maybe it's the Megan that robot.
Maybe.
Megan 2 dropping this summer. Get ready.
Get ready.
I'm ready. Megan letterbox user Megan. I'm having a stroke again. I have one every episode.
Uh-huh.
Megan writes, it's kind of like burlesque, but for girls who smell. I love it.
She's not wrong, though.
I feel like that bar was probably muy stinky.
Oh, Oh, I mean, who amongst us has not been in to a dive bar going like, it's very sticky in here?
At one point, you see Violet throw a couple of beer bottles into the garbage can. That's the extent of the cleaning we see.
That's all that happens.
Not one of those girls is sexy janitor. Okay.
It's a bar run by women. What can you expect? Yeah, there's one scene where she's like in the bathroom being sad, like leaning on a stall wall. I'm like, girl, get off of there.
Girl, you have chlamydia
You're
now.
going to get tetanus.
Literally.
Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
Oof.
Someone comes in, they're like, do you guys have food here? They're like, what?
They're like, do we serve food in here?
Hell no to food.
They start throwing raw burger meat on this poor person. Wait, I'm the health inspector. Anyway. Shall we get into the plot before we keep spoiling more plot?
Let's get into the plot. Let's Coyote Ugly up in this plot. You know what I mean?
Sure don't. Anyway.
I'm in a good mood. Because I just shook my ass and my titties on top of the bar. We meet Violet, who lives in Armpit, New Jersey.
Correct.
Okay, she lives in the butthole of New Jersey.
That's right.
And I'm not going to shit on New Jersey. New Jersey does that itself.
Yeah. As New Yorkers, we're kind of obligated.
I have friends from Jersey, and they hate when I do that. And they're like, well, I'm from there and all this. And I'm like, that's why you act that way.
They hate it. They all have a chip on their shoulder because they know.
Yeah, you got to wear it with pride. You know?
But
Like when you have IBS. She works at this pizza shop where everyone's arguing about how they can eat the most pie, whatever. She's getting ready to leave to go to New York to be a songwriter.
That's right.
And her boss is like, sign this time card and I'm going to put it on the wall of girls who leave.
And never come back.
Never come back.
Because they die. They're murdered in the streets of New York.
Because John Goodman in the next scene is like, oh, look at that. 43,000 people murdered, hacked to death on the subway. Tis, tis. Sure you want to go to New York?
This is also what my own father says to me 3 times a week.
Oh, about
And I've been living in this city for over a decade.
Yeah.
Which, of course, he's playing the dad who's been at home with his daughter because
Mom is
dead.
Mom
always.
died.
She was also trying to pursue a career as a songwriter in New York City.
Songwriter, yeah.
So now her daughter's got to go out there and try to do it for real.
Right. For what we're led to believe is this little small town, they have a huge going away party for her. I've seen retirement parties that have less people.
There's like 180 people in that room.
Truly. And they're like, we love you. We can't wait for you to move 42 miles away to New York City.
A 25-minute ride on New Jersey Transit.
Huh?
Relax.
Chill out. She gets an apartment in Chinatown, and it's a dump.
Foul.
It's a dump. She also leaves the window open constantly.
The entire time I was yelling at that TV going, girl, close the door.
Close the door.
Close the window.
Close the window. Why is your cat in the apartment with the window open and there's pigeons looking inside?
Also, was that her cat? Because I don't remember her bringing a cat with her.
I
feel
don't either.
like it's just a stray that got in through the window that she started taking care of.
Melanie Linsky is with her, plays her best friend.
Jessica Simpson went through many auditions to play the lead in this movie.
I can see that.
I can absolutely see that. But then she dropped out when filmmakers refused to take out the sex scene. And then most of the sex scene was cut out.
Damn. I know she was mad.
Oh, had to be.
She went to go see this with her dad and her sister, and she was like, rats. Guess I'm going to have to be in Dukes of Hazzard. Violet wants to play her songs inside of her crappy little Chinatown apartment, and the neighbor isn't having it. The neighbor's like, be quiet, which I would too. I'd be like, shut up. So she goes on the roof. She goes on the roof.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and she's up there singing, and these songs are horrible. Horrible. Her dad was right. She should have stayed home.
Stay home and do my laundry.
What are you doing? She'll play one D chord. And she's like,
Inspiration.
You and me in a tree. Kissing. Girl, Dr. Seuss called. He wants his lyrics back. She's bad.
Do you want me in a house? Do you want me with a mouse? Her neighbor's like, shut the fuck up.
Be quiet.
We're all out here trying to make it in New York. Nobody cares about you.
Do better. So she goes,
She's like, I got to record my demo and shop it around.
this movie, I can't tell if they're in on the joke that she's that dumb or if they're dead serious that she's this dumb. Because she rolls up to every place in the city to drop off her demo, to every underpaid minimum wage front desk person that's like,
Go fuck yourself.
that lady that's like, I moved here to be a dancer, and then I got pregnant, and I've been standing here for 16 years, and my daughter told me this morning she's a bisexual, and she hates me.
How can I make your dreams come true?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Welcome to New York. Everyone she meets has been like had their dreams crushed and is super jaded and bitter. And that's not untrue about some people in the city IRL. But she's straight up walking to these doors being like, hello, is Mariah home? I would like her to sing my song, please.
Is Mr. Music Industry here? I'd like to give him a show.
I am just an innocent young girl, which is weird to me that she is like, she says later, she's like, I just play up the innocent girl act to try and get my way. And I'm like,
no, you don't.
That's not helpful.
You appear to have one brain cell floating around like a DVD screen. Girl, when she goes to the bar and she's like, so it's like an venue space, and she's like, where's like someone who's in charge of the acts? And the guy's like, what do you want?
What do you mean?
What do you want to drink? And she goes, Pepsi and crackers. Huh?
Bitch, you're a Pepsi and cracker. Okay. Get out of my face.
So then the guy's like, oh, give your demo to that guy. He's like the music manager.
Mr. O'Donnell. He manages all the acts here.
Mind you, he's the fry cook.
He's literally the fry cook of this place.
SpongeBob.
Also, like, before I knew he was fucking with her, I was like, that guy's 12 years old. What do you mean? Anyway, she buys it. She takes the bait.
She waits for him outside, and he comes out, and he's like talking with his friends, and she's like, Mr. O'Donnell, I know this is super not normal, but I'm here to drop off my thing. I'm Violet. I'm a songwriter. And he's like, no, this isn't normal. That accent will get that.
All right. I guess I am the manager.
Oh, no. Did you fall and bump your head?
Did you bump your little head? Of course, like 2 seconds later, the actual chef comes out and is like,
you forgot your apron.
I will fire you, boy.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck you, dude.
She's like, I just embarrassed myself.
I look like an idiot now.
Like, yeah, you've been doing that the past
all day.
20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Also, in New York, it doesn't matter.
No, everyone
looks stupid all the time, and that is the whole point of this good city, is that it does not matter.
No, wear your idiocy with pride. Okay?
You're not going to see any of these people ever again.
You farted and it left a little stain on your jeans. Wear it with pride.
Move on.
Okay,
it's
we all do it.
The anonymity we love about this city.
Let's go. What kills me is when she rolls up to the music record place and the guy's on the phone and she's like, I know Whitney and Mariah are here and you know them.
What?
Huh? The gay guy at the front desk you think knows Whitney and Mariah? And they want to hear your song about 1, 2, buckle my shoe? I don't think so.
Mother Goose up in here being like, where are the divas?
Where are the divas? They need to hear my songs. What?
The mean secretary, he's like, the only way that you are that this happens for people if you did any of your homework, which you wouldn't because you don't have a computer. Main plot point is that you have to go have your songs heard at an open mic like everyone else. So now she has to go sing it herself.
And she's like, oh, an open mic. And there's a stage manager at the open mic, which usually it's just a piece of paper on the wall that you sign up for.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I had a few of my regulars call in sick. You got 10 minutes. I'm like, what open mic is this?
Well, yeah, what? Also, you don't need to call in sick to an open mic.
You just don't go.
You just don't go.
They call your name once. They're like, is Jazz here? All right, next.
Yeah. You go on in 10 minutes, girl.
She's like, the bathrooms are down the hallway if you want to throw up. There's 4 people in that bar.
Yeah.
She's like so nervous.
But can she do it? No.
No. She chokes.
And
she leaves.
I'm sorry.
I have to go. She gets home and her apartment got broken into.
Okay.
Which sucks.
It absolutely sucks.
There's a line from Broad City where he's like, having your apartment broken into makes you a New Yorker. And he's like, I've been a New Yorker like 6 times. Let me tell you. I've been a New Yorker because that, you knew that. 3 years ago?
Yes, I do remember
right
this.
around the time that everything happened. Okay,
Yeah.
When life really shits, it shits hard. And the people who broke into my apartment unmade my bed, walked on my sheets. There was a footprint on my pillow.
What?
Okay, they hate me.
Again,
so if you're watching this
is a hate crime.
If you're watching this,
these are more targeted hate crimes
kiss my butt.
than actual. Because if I'm a robber, I'm like, let me check the places where I think there would be some valuable shit, and get out of here.
Yeah, let me like put on a pair of your underwear.
I'm not
and
having
then
a
look
slumber
around.
party jumping around on the bed with my shoes on. Yay! I love robbing.
Miracles happen once, and you're jumping on the bed.
This fucker had no money. Oh well.
Literally, I had no money either. They took almost nothing. Just walked on my bed. Oh. Her apartment gets broken into, and she's like, crap. So
All my money's gone.
all my money's gone. She goes to some shithole in the wall diner, and she's like, so mopey. If I was
Yeah.
the diner tender, the bartender at the diner, whatever he is, employee, I'd be like, girl,
You're killing the vibe in here.
you gotta go.
You have to get out.
She hears 3 raucous ladies behind her going crazy, throwing money on the table, having a blast, and she's like, who is that? Are those hookers?
This bitch. I'm gonna try and piss off everyone in the city my first week. They turn around, they're like, we're gonna rob her place later.
You're gonna rob her place. He's like, no, they're coyotes.
What's funny too is if, again, I am a New Yorker. If I went to a place and somebody said to me, oh, look, the coyotes are here, I would have no fucking idea what they were talking about.
What?
No.
Some sort of new gang of
Yeah.
model-esque women.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, coyotes. He hands her a matchbook, and she's like, wow. She goes there the next day just to look around. She is offered a job by the manager, owner, Maria Bello. They kind of butcher her up because she's supposed to be like the more mature.
Yeah.
She owns this place. This is her home.
No bullshit kind of girl.
She won't walk around barefoot in her own bar because she's going to get tetanus.
Yeah.
She looks like the serial killer Eileen Wernos. I'm scared.
Yeah.
But she's like, where are you from? Some podunk town in North Dakota? She's like, no, I'm from Jersey. She goes, okay, you got some spunk in you. I'm going to give you an audition to be one of my coyotes.
That's right.
Amazing.
Because the coyote known as Tyra Banks is
gonna-
leaving to go to law school.
Was it law school?
Yeah.
I thought it was dental school.
No, law
Really?
school, yeah.
Okay. Dental school is a little more believable. Law school?
She's been saving up at the bar to go to law school.
Well, I guess she watches a lot of lawsuits in that bar, and she's like, you know what?
And she's like, I've been dancing on this bar. I'm going to go dance on the bar.
The bar. I'm going to go past the bar.
The original Coyote Ugly bar opened in the East Village in 1993.
Okay.
It is still opened. According to Yelp, quote, probably a place that's only fun if you're drunk. This movie was inspired by a GQ magazine article called The Muse of the Coyote Ugly Saloon by Elizabeth Gilbert, who, as we know, wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh.
That would then become the movie Eat, Pray, Love. She also wrote a book that I love called Big Magic. That's really good for all creatives. I highly recommend it. She describes her experiences as a former Coyote bartender.
Wow.
I know. So cool.
Wow. So yeah, like that. This is her story.
This is her story, basically.
But she wasn't writing no crappy.
She should have written the fucking movie. She should have written the full book. That would have been turned to a much better movie. Anyway.
Violet gets her little audition, and she shows up. This place is packed. They are pouring the worst beer pours you've ever seen in your life.
They don't care.
It is this much head to, I don't know, 3 sips of beer.
Yes.
All they do is shots there.
Yes.
They're on the bar. It's disgusting.
It's fine. The whole place is wet.
Place is nasty. Someone asks for a water, and they start that chant.
Hell no, H2O.
Then when you ask for water, you get sprayed with the water gun. So they have water. They just won't let anyone drink it.
They're like, we want you to be as sloppy and disgusting as possible. We do not want any chance of you sobering up in here.
No, all the pee-pee on the bathroom floor needs to be straight beer. It cannot be clear.
Gross. Yeah, this place is packed to the gills with dudes and women. Alike. You know, after work, blowing off some steam, screaming at each other.
Screaming their head off. It's
and
probably
watching these women
4:30 p.m.
dance their little booties off.
And Maria Bello is like, girl, get up there. And she goes, I can't do that. Yeah, you can't. They're doing a choreographed line dance.
A literal choreographed line dance.
And she's like, just get up there.
Another fun fact, when they start bringing up, like, other women who are just there, and they start doing that, like, Devil Went Down to Georgia full choreographed line dance, some of those women were actual Coyote Ugly employees at the time.
I don't like when they call them barmaids. I'm like, just call them a bartender.
Just call him a bartender.
Yeah.
When I hear barmaid, I think of like Oktoberfest.
I truly was about to say
2 beers in front of her massive
Some,
tits
like,
and a
big
lederhosen.
Yeah.
Lederhosen. Tyra Banks, maybe a reason she was in this movie for 2 seconds is because she tore her lateral meniscus dancing on top of the bar.
She said, "This is the most movement I've done outside of a runway. My body is not made for this."
Absolutely not. And
she said, "My body is not made to do Southern white girl dancing."
she said, time out for Tyra.
Time out for Tyra. Tyra Mail.
She's going to get her next chance. But meanwhile, our Australian fry cook is like just being around. He's just like following her, being like, I'm going to help you accomplish your dreams. I'm going to help you like get over your stage fright and your nervousness. We're going to go out all night. And you're going to help me throw fish at my fish throwing job at the seaport.
He goes and he's trying to be supportive, and she accidentally gets the fire marshal all riled up. And so Maria Bello gets a $250 fine. And she's like, yo, Jersey, if you want to stay, you need to make me back that $250
tonight.
Jersey, for once, uses her one brain cell, and she's like, I'm going to auction off this Australian guy, which he gets up on that bar, and he's got moves like he works at Chocolate Thunder from Down Under in Vegas.
Like he's a professional dancer from the West End.
Also, in that scene where all the ladies are bidding on him, Caitlin Olsen, It's Always Sunny, Bugs Bunny herself, Caitlin Olsen, is in that. So amazing.
She is bidding.
Same thing with Alex Borstein is at
later.
The end. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
a lot of cameos on early days. So
but
she auctions him off, and these women go
off.
feral.
She raises the money back, and Maria Bello's like, you know what? This girl's got something to her. Australian guy is like, hey, let's spend all night together. And then they end up at the fish market because he has like 9 jobs to live in New York.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
How many do you have right now? 2.
I have 2 jobs. I work 6 days a week.
How many do I have now? 3.
Right.
Yeah. It's real.
It is a hustle. Mm-hmm. They have the lamest first kiss maybe in movie history.
I thought that too.
It was, I have kissed my grandma with more passion.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing back up here? And he goes, I've rethought that kiss.
Like making your Barbies kiss.
Truly. That is the energy. And we're led to believe that this is the start of some beautiful romance.
Spark. Yeah.
We're back at the Coyote Ugly. It is so busy in there.
Yeah.
The cops come in and they're like, you're 15 people over.
But it starts to get a little too
gets crazy.
A little too crazy.
It's
the
chaotic.
Girls are getting kidnapped off the bar.
So what does Violet do? She's like, I know how to bring peace. I'm going to sing.
The power of song.
The power of my tiny mouse voice
will calm these rowdy, horny, drunken sailors from kidnapping my friends.
So she sings along with the jukebox.
Uh-huh.
And somehow everyone's just into it.
Everyone just stops and watches.
Like she's like a siren. They're transfixed by her magical voice.
It's musical.
Mind you, you can barely hear her singing.
Yeah.
And they're like,
but she's like, this is it.
This is it.
She's on cloud 9. She's like, I conquered my fear.
The power of everyone being wasted.
Yeah.
She's inspired now, and the music is coming to her. She's up on her roof singing a song where she's like, you're the right kind of wrong. I'm gonna sing a song. So the Australian gets her a gig singing at this thing, which she has to blow off because the bar's just too busy.
It's too busy. Her boss won't let her go.
She's like, I can't leave.
This is the part where everything just starts going wrong. She was on the top of her game. Suddenly, she's not allowed to go to the gig because, and so, so then he's mad at her.
He's mad at her.
Then her dad finds out that she's working at this titty bar.
Yeah.
He comes down to watch her on wet t-shirt contest night.
Mm-hmm. And he's embarrassed. He's like, but you're my daughter. If you needed money, just tell me. And she's like,
I needed to find me, Dad. Trust me. He's like, what do you mean trust you? I'm watching you.
This is part of my songwriting process.
Yeah, so her dad won't speak to her.
Her dad's mad. Australian shows up because she blew him off.
Yeah.
He's mad, and she's dancing with a regular, and he's like, get off my girl.
He beats his ass.
They start fighting, and Maria Bello's like, you broke my rule. You're not allowed to bring your boyfriend here.
You know
You're
the rules.
fired.
You're fired.
And she's like, what's with your rules, Mom? My mom died. I don't have a mom.
I don't have rules from
I
a
don't
mom.
have rules. And she's like, then why are you so upset if you don't care?
If it's just a bar,
That was a mic
why
drop.
do you care?
That was a great line.
Yeah, that was the only good
In a
line
movie full
in
of
the
cheesy
movie.
lines, I was
Yeah.
like, that was good.
So now it's like, she's not a coyote.
She's not a coyote.
Her
Kevin is out.
boyfriend's gone.
Australian Kevin is like, your friends are waiting for you at the bar.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, you coyote.
She goes home for her best friend's wedding.
She does. She goes to Melanie Linsky's VFW hall wedding.
And I was so excited to be like, okay, this will be the nice, because of course her best friend, she knows something's up. She's like, I need a picture of you and your dad dancing. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this will be a sweet moment.
No,
where
it's-
this moment horrified me.
He's not wearing socks.
He's not wearing socks. They're slow dancing. And she's like, admit it. You're mad because I left and you need me. And like, it's okay. Like, I'm still here to support you. And he's like, no, I'm mad because this is the first time in my life I was ever ashamed of you.
Literally was like, I'm ashamed of you.
And I was like, oh, that hurt me.
Well, and then he gets hurt because he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, that's karma, bitch.
He gets hit by a car. And also a question. This movie, the entire time, she's like, I'm going to come home on Sundays and do your laundry. I'm going to do this and the third. Her dad gets hit by a car, and she visits him in the hospital, but then goes back to the city that night
Yeah,
to wait by the phone for her boyfriend.
that's true.
Huh?
That's true.
You're going home to wipe your dad's butt on Sundays, and the second he gets hit by a car, you're back in the city?
Well, I didn't have a boyfriend then. There's a new man in my life.
My dad's not my boyfriend anymore.
Ew. Yeah.
Violet, when she's back in the hospital room with her dad, she's like, I'm done singing.
I'm going to come home.
I've given up. And he's like, on life support, like, do you know why your mom stopped? And she's like, yeah.
Because she's dead.
Because she died. She sang so good she passed away.
It's like, no.
He's like, no, I made
I killed her. What I mean by that is I killed her spirit.
Yeah. And she's like, and he goes, and I'm not going to let that happen to you. And then she goes, are you wearing cologne? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to bang my nurse.
There's
so
a
you
hot
can't-
nurse in here.
You can't really move home.
And that's what I mean. You cannot come home because I will be fucking in there.
Okay, I'm going to be making loud John Goodwin sex noises, okay? You
I'm gonna
can't
be
come in here.
roaring like Sully in Monsters Inc. I'm going to be filling that scream tank up.
Okay, if you know what I mean.
Powering the whole neighborhood, okay?
So Lily comes. Lily is Maria Bello. She
Yeah.
has a name. She comes and finds her Violet at her new job, which is dead inside. And she goes, what's good here to eat? And she goes, I don't need my job back. Mind you, again, it's dead in there.
There's
Girl,
no customers there.
go back to the Coyote Ugly or go to
Please.
Applebee's in Times Square. Go someplace that's busy.
Yeah.
What are
this
you
is like
doing?
a weird fine dining establishment where she's only getting the day shift.
Literally, she's like, I'm good. I make $2 a day. She gets finally a call from some lady that's like, hey, I got one of your 90 envelopes.
Because the guy's like, if you're gonna make it, you gotta get a computer. You gotta make your demos online and send it in an email. And she's like, what? So she gets on this old ass computer with this like crusty technology.
At the time was probably grand.
Yeah, we're like,
new.
whoa, this is the future. So she starts, because she gets all the physical tapes that she sent out in the mail get returned to her. So now she's doing it high tech and professional.
Yeah.
They're like, we love your song.
Finally
We
gets a
want you
call.
to come sing at this showcase night.
We are at the Bowery Ballroom, and we have you bring your stuff so the band can learn it. You're going on. And she's like, uh-oh. So everyone is excited about her her performance. Coyote Ugly shuts down for the night. Her dad has the New Jersey Turnpike starts flashing its lights. They're like, give him the 1, 2, 3. Like,
Everyone's like, what's going on?
She's doing wheelies because she's like, I can't decide if I want to go. And Melanie Linsky's like, my neck hurts. It's like, what's happening? She gets up on that stage at the Bowery Ballroom and she chokes.
Immediately chokes.
She chokes. She's like,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. The spirit of my mom came over me and I died inside.
Of course.
Then what happens? The power goes out. Bowery Ballroom didn't pay the light bill.
No. Kevin,
our Australian.
Kevin breaks in somehow, turns off, cuts the power.
Cuts the power so that
She's like, it's him.
all she needs is 4 seconds of darkness for her to turn on.
Same
And
for me in the bedroom.
now here's the little spoiler. Oh, okay. The little spoiler. She writes the worst songs on the planet.
Yep.
She's giving us preschool stomp clap realness.
Uh-huh.
For her to write Can't Fight the Moonlight, a definitive pop song of the 2000s.
Yet.
Insane.
Yeah, she sings this song. She goes full pop star on this performance.
She's dancing. Mind you, the mic is nowhere near her face.
mouth. Oh God, the amount of cutting they had to do in the scene, the edit on this is crazy because you can tell every 5 seconds she's singing into nothing.
Nothing. If you cut like the dubbing of that, what it would sound like, it would be like, can't lie. Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody's there cheering her on.
Cheering. Even,
it's the
everyone's
scene
there.
in every 2000s movie that we all thought was going to like happen to us in our real lives as kids, where it's like, your dad's there and he's finally proud of you. Your girlfriends are cheering you on. The guy you just met, totally vibing.
The ghost of your mom is in the balcony crying.
Clapping.
Like, oh, it's beautiful.
I can finally go to heaven. I've been stuck in the in-between waiting for you to conquer your fear.
Goodbye. And she dissipates.
Wait, who's that redheaded bitch your dad's with?
Who's touching my husband? So she does Can't Fight the Moonlight. And then in this kind of meta, because I know the song.
Yes.
Never seen the movie.
Yes, same. I went, wait. That's not your song?
In this metaverse kind of thing, Leanne Rimes herself is at Coyote Ugly singing.
She sold the song
to Leanne Rimes.
Leanne Rimes takes her song and makes it popular.
Mm-hmm. So
Leanne Rimes looks all of 8.5 years old.
She is a child.
Singing on that bar.
Fully a child. But it's the end of the movie. Everyone's happy and smiling. John Goodman is up on the bar. Everyone in the movie is up on the bar.
Yes.
What's that bar made of? Titanium. There is John Goodman and 8 models. So there's, I don't know, 300 pounds on the bar.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks is up there, back from dental law school.
The law of the teeth.
It's the end of the holiday, like you say, where everyone's
dancing and we're all together.
It's amazing.
Yep. She's rich now, so she doesn't have to work there because she's selling her songs.
She's like, I don't have to dance.
Leanne Rimes like, get up here and sing with me, girl. AKA Leanne Rimes singing on a track with herself.
And that's Coyote Ugly.
Ends with one of the cringiest lines of all time, which also doesn't make sense because earlier he says to her, like, what do you do when all your dreams come true? And I guess all of her dreams have come true. She sold one song and her dad is now just as slutty as she is and is getting bid on by Alex Bornstein. And then at the very end, she says to him, so what do you do when all of your dreams come true? And then they kiss and that's the end of the film. And I'm like, what if his dreams have come true? That he has that you're his girlfriend? Like, that's a little... What else has he done?
Yeah.
She's like, you have a family now. Because he had a whole scene where he's like, you want to know about me? I don't have a family.
I've never had a family. I'll move from home to home.
So what do you do when your dreams came true?
He's like,
blackout. He's like, my what?
My dreams haven't come true.
I'm still working at a fish store.
I want to be a dental hygienist.
I'm going to school with Tyra Banks.
Me and Tyra are going to school together. We're using the power of her forehead to study. It's like,
well, you said it's the projector.
It's a projector in our class. And she's like, yeah.
Anyway, more about me.
Smash cut. My dreams are true.
The end. And that's Coyote Ugly.
All right, you Coyote. How would you ugly rate this movie?
Oh my God. To rate and summate this film, I was disappointed by the amount of slut shaming in this movie, of course.
Okay.
A lot of small pee-pee energy. But, that to me, I was like, that's too harsh for a father to tell his daughter. Like, there's so many daughters in that audience that were probably driven to go dance on a bar because their daddy issues their daddy issues were coming up hard. Yeah. It's fun. It's really corny. It's not well written. However, like, the soundtrack of this movie went like double platinum. It was like on the Billboard charts.
The soundtrack is fire.
Yes.
It's fire.
It's just not any of the original songs. I could see how in 2000 girls who were like 13 would be like, this is my movie. But for adults with more than one brain cell, it's not very good. I wanted more unapologetic slutty girl energy. And it's not even slutty girl energy. It's just like, again, females capitalizing on their hotness after dudes have been doing it for a millennia.
And it does feel like this movie is kind of close to that, but it still exists in
because it's still written
culture.
And produced and directed by men.
Yeah.
So we're still gonna shame the women. But anyway, I'm gonna give this movie 4 wet bathroom floors out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Rate and summate.
Never seen it before. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. If I still drank, I think this movie would make a banging drinking game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Is it fun? I did have fun.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, some movies you watch back and you're like, man, this is terrible, but I'm having a good time.
This is like a movie you put on at a bar, or you like have on the background at a house party or whatever.
Yes.
And you can just be like, fuck yeah. But you don't have to like sit in the quiet and watch it and take it all in.
Sometimes I wish they leaned a little bit more into the fact that the girl is bad at shit. Like, she's giving you 1, 2 buckle my shoe songs. And it's like, we're like, wow, she's really good. No, she's not.
I would have wanted to see her like grow as a songwriter. To be like, she submits her first song and somebody's like, look, you're a sweet kid, but this is garbage. And work on your shit.
I don't know how you go from Knick Knack Paddywhack, Give a Dog a Bone lyrics to Can't Fight the Moonlight. I wish there may have been a moment, as cheesy as it would have been, that maybe Maria Bello or the Australian was like, look, you can't fight the moonlight. It'll expose. You know, like something that she's like, because she goes from 0 to fucking
Leanne Rimes
to pop star gold, right?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No, we don't see any sort of journey.
I'm going to give this movie 3 out of 10 hepatitis B shots.
That's fair, and that's probably as many as you would need
if you step foot in the Coyote Ugly.
We should have recorded this episode at Coyote Ugly Bar.
Imagine you can't hear anything. It's so loud. Like, we're coming to you live from the Coyote Ugly.
I'm ill.
Everyone in here is 45 years old or older.
But now we should go.
We should.
I
would go.
Let's go to pay tribute to the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, and we'll come back with a review on being at the bar itself.
Also, like, neither one of us really drink that much, so it'd be interesting for 2 sober older folks
purely to just take in
the vibes.
It's more for research.
I'll take my shoes off there if you do.
You're on your own. I'll be looking for a new co-host when your ass is dead. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow, review, subscribe. It makes such a big difference to us. Go engage with our social media posts, please. It's super, super helpful. And also write in and let us know movies that you would like to hear. Say goodbye to Jackson because he's about to die of disease after being in Coyote Ugly Bar.
Baby, I'm about to do the hoedown, throwdown, barefoot at Coyote Ugly.
I hope you've enjoyed him on the show. He will not be back.
They're taking my foot.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you next time. Or maybe we won't. Oh.